Washington. President Donald Trump's tariffs are here to stay, according to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who dismissed recent court setbacks as minor delays in a broader strategy to reshape global trade dynamics in America's favor. Appearing on Fox News Sunday, Lutnick addressed growing legal challenges but remained steadfast in the administration's commitment to tariffs as a tool of economic leverage. Just days earlier, the Court of International Trade had issued a significant ruling that Trump exceeded his authority when he invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 to impose broad tariffs on imports. The court's decision declared the bulk of Trump's tariffs illegal, causing a temporary halt. But an appeals court later allowed Trump to continue collecting tariffs during the appeals process, a development Lutnick pointed to as a sign of confidence. "The tariffs are not going away," Lutnick said emphatically. "Even in the unlikely event that one authority is pulled back, there are others. President Trump has plenty of tools in his toolbox. This is not the end of tariffs, it's just a bump in the road." Lutnick noted that even if courts ultimately block the use of the 1977 Emergency Powers Act, Trump can simply pivot to other legal justifications. He has so many other authorities that even in the weird and unusual circumstance where this was taken away, we just bring on another or another or another. Adding to the legal uncertainty, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. recently ruled against the administration in a separate case involving two Illinois toy importers. That judge also determined that Trump overreached by using emergency powers to bypass Congress, further complicating the administration's legal position. In response to the legal blows, Trump took to his Truth Social platform, warning of dire consequences if the courts curtail his tariff authority. "If the courts somehow rule against us on tariffs, which is not expected," Trump wrote, "that would allow other countries to hold our nation hostage with their anti-American tariffs that they would use against us. This would mean the economic ruination of the United States of America." Despite the legal volatility, Trump remains undeterred. On May 30th, he announced that tariffs on steel and aluminum imports would be doubled, from 25% to 50%, signaling his intent to escalate trade pressure rather than retreat. Lutnick downplayed the disruptions from the court rulings, suggesting they caused no more than a brief pause. "I think it cost us a week, maybe cost us a week," he said. "Everybody came right back to the table. Everybody is talking to us." He expressed optimism that the pressure exerted by tariffs is working to America's benefit. "You're going to see over the next couple of weeks really first-class deals for the American worker," he predicted. "This isn't theory anymore. The world sees we're serious, and they want to deal." For the past 2 months, Trump and top White House officials have framed tariffs not as punitive measures, but as bargaining chips to secure better trade agreements. So far, the administration has touted 2 achievements: a bilateral trade deal with the United Kingdom and a temporary pact with China to suspend major tariffs for 90 days. However, the progress with China appears fragile. On May 30th, Trump accused Beijing of violating the agreement by withholding critical products they had promised to release under the deal. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent addressed the tensions during an appearance on CBS, Face the Nation, stating that he expects President Trump to speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping soon. "I believe we'll see something very soon," Bessent said. "The president will raise the issue directly." Bessent added that the Chinese side has not released certain minerals that were part of the original understanding. "They are withholding some of the products that they agreed to release during our agreement," he explained. "Maybe it's a glitch in the Chinese system. Maybe it's intentional. We'll see after the president speaks with the party chairman." According to the Chinese government, Xi has not spoken to Trump since his inauguration on January 20th, further underscoring the breakdown in high-level communication. Still, Bessent struck a hopeful tone, suggesting that once the 2 leaders engage, the issues can be resolved. "Once there's clarity at the top, the rest will fall into place," he said. Trump's strategy is built on the belief that tariffs are not just economic instruments, but geopolitical tools. They force adversaries and allies alike to negotiate on terms more favorable to the United States. The legal challenges, while significant, are viewed within the White House as temporary obstacles, not as signs of weakness. Supporters of the tariff strategy argue that for too long, the U.S. has allowed foreign nations to impose high tariffs while demanding open access to American markets. Trump's approach, they say, flips that dynamic. But critics, including some in the judiciary, argue that the president is overstepping his constitutional authority by circumventing Congress. They warn that if left unchecked, such executive overreach could set a dangerous precedent. Despite that, Trump appears unmoved. His administration continues to frame legal opposition as politically motivated, and his allies in Congress have largely remained silent or supportive. For now, the fate of Trump's tariffs rests with the courts. But even if rulings go against him, Lutnick insists the administration is prepared to adapt. We have the legal framework. We have the political will. We have the economic muscle, Lutnick said. This isn't over. As Trump presses ahead, global markets remain on edge. U.S. businesses are bracing for continued uncertainty. Some industries, like manufacturing and agriculture, have been hit hard by retaliatory tariffs from trading partners. Yet others have benefited from protections designed to boost domestic production. Trump's bet is that the long-term gains will outweigh the short-term pain, and that voters will reward him for standing up to foreign economic pressure. Meanwhile, trade partners are recalibrating their strategies. With Washington doubling down, countries like Canada, Mexico, Germany, and Japan are revisiting their trade priorities and bracing for prolonged negotiations. Lutnick emphasized that Trump is playing the long game. This is about dignity. This is about jobs. This is about sovereignty, he said. For too long, we've been taken advantage of. Even amid the chaos of court rulings, accusations, and tariff escalations, the administration's tone remains resolute. Trump and his team believe the United States is finally asserting itself on the global stage, and they show no signs of backing down.